this video we'll be installing the latest SteamOS beta on the Legion Go and ROG Ally family of devices and testing performance and functionality and the progress of the operating system on handhelds other than the Steam Deck, and trying to understand if the experience is currently worth it and what more needs to be achieved by Valve. Now I have a fresh install of SteamOS here on my Lenovo Legion Go. I'm going to press Menu, go to Settings, go to System, and we're going to see Software Updates here. If I scroll down, you'll see I'm on OS version 3.8 from a fresh install. Go to the System Update channel, and I'm going to change to Beta, and then I'm going to restart the Legion Go. Now once we're back in gaming mode, I'm going to press the Menu button, go to Settings again, go to System, and you should see with Beta applied, SteamOS 3.7.5 Beta, ready, steady, go. If we just briefly go through the notes, we can see beginnings of support for non-Steam Deck handhelds, added support for the power button on ASUS and Lenovo handhelds, which we'll test in a moment, improved input support for ASUS and Lenovo handhelds. So quite vague, but we'll do the testing in a moment. So let's press Apply. And we just want to wait up to about 2 to 3 minutes for this to complete. And now once the update's been applied, we just want to press Restart. Now once the device is restarted again, we just want to go to Menu, go to Settings, System, and we'll see that we're on Beta. And if we scroll down, we can see SteamOS version 3.7.5 with the OS build being 2025-05-01. So I've installed this update on the Lenovo Legion Go, the Legion Go S, Ryzen Z2 Go, and the ROG Ally and ROG Ally X. Let's start with the Legion Go. We're going to do a controller test, and I've got Input Plumber already installed, and you can find out how to do this in my SteamOS installation guide in the description. So if we go on Begin Test, you can see we've got an Xbox One Elite 2 controller, face buttons all working. So Legion R seems to be coming up as the A button and Xbox button. Legion L, Xbox button, L1, R1, got the left trigger, depending on how much you press, right trigger, trackpad seems to be working in gaming mode. Got Start and Select, R3 and L3. So if we hold B to exit, let's test sleep. You can see the LED still blinking. If we wake up, there we go, back in gaming mode. Let's go to the home screen, press Legion R to bring up the SteamOS side menu, go to Performance, we can see our frame limiter, disable frame limit, allow tearing, half rate shading. Now for our TDP limit, we currently have a placeholder bar, and this doesn't work, and we have to use Decky Loader and Simple Decky TDP, which is covered in my SteamOS installation guide in the description if you want to install this. And it is recommended so that we can actually control the TDP. We can adjust this all the way up to 40, and then adjust our active TDP like so. Now in game with something simple like Dredge, we can see that the game works fine. Press the Legion R button, go to Decky, go to Simple Decky TDP. Our TDP, can set this to 15 watts, GPU mode balanced, minimum TDP 10, max 15, and it seems as though it's just not even acknowledging it. whereas this did work previously. So on SteamOS 3.7.5, this doesn't seem to be working right now. I'm not sure what the cause is. So if I go into the performance part, TDP limit, 0 watts. Obviously, as said before, this is just a placeholder at the moment before support comes. So if I toggle this on, toggle this off and on again, probably really hard to see because the SteamOS performance overlay is using the full 1600p of the panel, and I really wish we were able to resize this overlay because it would come in real useful for non-Steam Deck handhelds. So let's move on to the next handheld and see where we're at with that. So the next handheld we want to look at is a Legion Go S. I'm going to press the on button to wake it from sleep. Press the Legion L button. Go to Settings, System. You can see I'm on the beta channel. SteamOS 3.7.5 and the OS build 2025-0501. If we do a controller test, you can see it recognises that we're using the Legion Go S. L1 works, R1, all the face buttons are working properly, R3, L3. Now the previous notes for SteamOS did mention that trackpad support had been added for Legion Go S. Now if I press on this, we get a vibrating sound. If we press on it, it's not lighting up on the screen. So I think this still needs to be fixed. L2, R2, and everything else seems to be working fine. Now back on the gaming mode home screen, we're going to press Legion R to bring up our performance overlay. If I scroll down, we can see our frame limiter, disable frame limit, enable VRR for the variable refresh rate, and our TDP limit. On the Z2 Go version, we can actually adjust this without Decky Loader, and I'll demonstrate this in a game briefly. Manual GPU clock, scaling mode, and scaling filter. Now in game with Cyberpunk, I've set the TDP limit to 15 watts in SteamOS. I've got the Steam Deck preset with FSR 2.1 balanced, 800p. If we go back, you can see that the TDP is working correctly. I'm getting about 30 to 40 FPS in the main city. And if I press Legion R again, TDP limit, I can increase, and we can see this on the left increasing as well. So it's really nice to see that this is now working in SteamOS, and hopefully this becomes available in all the other handhelds as well. So going up to 25 watt, I'm now getting about 50 FPS, which is really good performance. And I think the Legion Go S is in a really good spot right now. Now if we exit Cyberpunk with Legion L, we can see the official layout for our controller. I'm going to exit the game and go to desktop mode, press Legion L, power, and switch to desktop mode. Now in desktop mode we're going to quickly test the trackpad to see if that's working. All we get is vibration feedback. The right analog stick works for the mouse cursor, and of course we can use the touch screen. If we press, we just get vibration feedback. So hopefully in the next SteamOS version this is working correctly. And now let's move on to the ROG Ally and ROG Ally X. Now with the ROG Ally in gaming mode, my controls are working for the most part, and these did take around 5 minutes before they initialized, which was the case with the previous version of SteamOS. When I press the left arm rotate button, this sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Let's go down to settings, system, on the beta channel, SteamOS 3.7.5, 2025-0501. You can see the Z1 Extreme, etc. Let's do a controller test. R1, L1. D-pad works. Select and start. Left armory crate, and the right armory crate isn't recognised. Face buttons, R3 and L3, analogues, right trigger, left trigger. Now the M1 button on the back of the Ally shows R4 as true, M2 shows R4 as true as well. So these are both doing the same operation. So back on the home screen, we'll press the right armory crate button, go to the performance tab, you can see our frame limiter, disable frame limit, variable refresh rate, allow tearing, half rate shading, and our TDP limit isn't working at the moment, shows 0 watts, manual GPU clock, scaling mode and scaling filter. If we go down to Decky, got simple Decky TDP, and we can adjust our TDP from here, setting the minimum and maximum range. So we can go up to 40 watt. Can leave this at about 20 watt. Set this to 20 watt active. Now in Cyberpunk, I've got the TDP set to 20 watts, Steam Deck preset, FSR 2.1 balanced, and we're on 720p. In the main city, with the Z1 Extreme, getting around 60 FPS for the most part, with dips down into 50 at times. And this is performing really well. If we adjust the TDP down to 15, see the FPS drops to 50. If we go to the same part where we were getting 60, about a 10 FPS drop with a 5 watt difference. So let's move over to the ROG Ally X and see what's happening there. Now in gaming mode with the ROG Ally X, same situation where the controls took about 5 minutes to reinitialize. Hopefully this gets fixed in a future SteamOS update. Press the left armory crate button, settings, system, beta channel, SteamOS beta 3.7.5 and 2025-0501, Ryzen Z1 Extreme, etc. Now if we go to our controller, let's see if this is improved. Let's begin a test. Unfortunately, the X button's still not working. Y button registered as X, B, A, R1 not recognised, L1 is Y, L3 not recognised. Sticks work, L3 and R3 don't. D-pad seems functional. That's coming up as L1. The select, start, is our triggers. So it's all over the place right now. An M1, same as the Ally, it's coming up as R4, same with R4. See if we can hold B to exit. Yep, that's good. Go back to the home screen. Press the right armoury crate button. Go down to the performance tab. Frame limiter. Disable frame limit. Variable refresh rate. TDP limit. Same as the Ally. Manual GPU clock. And scaling mode and scaling filter. But of course we've got simple decky TDP. So we can change our minimum and maximum values for our TDP range. I'm going to set this to 20 watt. Just set the maximum and minimum. Let's jump into a game. Now with Cyberpunk on the ROG Ally X with SteamOS, I've had to Bluetooth a PS5 controller so that I can use all of the controls, as they are not currently working on the Ally X. Now I've got Steam Deck preset, FSR 2.1 balanced, 720p. In the main city, I'm getting around 65 FPS, just a little bit more than the Z1 Extreme Ally. If we press the right armoury crate button, go to simple decky TDP, drop the TDP down to 15, FPS about the same as the Ally, 40, 45, if we go in the road, yeah, getting around 40 to 45 FPS. So let's quickly test the sleep and wake function. Now when the device wakes, I've connected my PS5 controller again via Bluetooth. You can see here, I'm pressing A, nothing's happening. If I press the left armoury crate button, controls, I assume, are now going to take around 5 minutes to initialize again. So just bear that in mind when you wake and sleep the device, that your controls are going to take 5 minutes to come back into effect. Now with the ROG Ally, let's test the sleep function. Let's press it back on. See, it comes back on, but our controls aren't working again. So currently on the ASUS family of devices, on the ROG Ally and the ROG Ally X, our controls take around 5 minutes to reinitialize. So just bear that in mind when you sleep and wake the device whilst using SteamOS currently. So to wrap this video up, in conclusion, the Legion Go S Z2 Go is currently ahead in terms of overall functionality. It's nice to see the TDP working with this version, but we still need the trackpad operational, which I'm sure will arrive soon. The Legion Go 1, I'm going to look a bit more into why the TDP wasn't working with simple decky TDP. And if you have a Legion Go with SteamOS and are having similar issues, please leave a comment with your experience, as I'd love to hear from you. The ROG Ally family of devices does need work, especially when it comes to the consistency of controller operations and adding the TDP meter, so we can adjust without a third-party plugin. The ROG Ally X shares these same issues, except with the addition of the controller overall being inoperable and requiring an updated kernel, which hopefully arrives in the next version. Of course, there will be a long way to go before we start to see features such as RGB adjustment, the back buttons working, and gyro support. So I hope this video helped you understand the current state of SteamOS on non-Steam Deck handhelds, and as always, please keep in mind this is a beta release from Valve and bugs are to be expected. So if you encounter anything worth making others aware of, please leave a comment in the troubleshooting and bug report thread in the comments section. We can expect this update to move into the stable channel eventually, bringing even more support, features, and improvements as we look forward to the public SteamOS 3 release. If you enjoyed this video and learnt something new today, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and share this video with others. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day, look out for one another, and I'll see you later.